Welcome to another episode of Ballas Union. We're here live. We talking tourney talk, March Madness. We have everybody got their brackets loaded for the Sweet 16 to see who gets the bragging rights, who's going to win it all, who just burned their entire bracket.
This guy.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into the starting lineup. We got Jay Rizzo from Rizzo Rant. He over there helping CP out at guard. We got
James
CP.
Harden, I don't need help.
He said, I don't need help.
We got
I don't need your assistance.
CP from Word Out Park.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? He normally hold down both guard duties. You know what I'm saying? He does it all. We got Goldie on the wing from Talker Brothers.
Yes, sir.
We got Smash in the Paint, also representing Talker Brothers. You know what I'm saying? And he's
yes, sir.
And he doesn't have the handcuffs of the military anymore, so we don't know what he's gonna say now.
He's the bearded one. The bearded one.
I like the retirement beard, man. I like it.
Thank you, bro.
It officially says I don't care about none of y'all.
I don't care about life anymore. Every day's Friday
and Saturday.
Hey, that's the nut buckum anthem, baby.
The nut buckles.
That's why you got that new job, that new head coaching job.
Yeah.
Nut buckles.
Yep. And you all know me, Giovanni, over here, holding down the other wing spot. So we all know everybody watch Ballas Union, and if you picked all the Ballas Union's upset pick, you will have a perfect bracket right now.
as long as you pick Oral Roberts, like I told y'all to pick, y'all should be in good shape.
That's his calling card right there, boy.
Hey,
that's his calling card.
When you knock off a scrub team like Columbus Community College, man, you gotta celebrate it, man.
He said Columbus Community College.
Because after that, when it went south from there.
That's okay. That's a win. All I needed was that, and as long as Michigan's still in, I'm good.
Good. Yeah. All right. Like, so who wants to go ahead, CP? You can shine with your bracket. Who you got in the Sweet 16?
I don't even know yet. My bracket didn't pull up, but all I know is Michigan.
It
doesn't matter.
Okay, Michigan over everything?
Just Michigan. It's going. Just don't worry about it. If Michigan loses, then come back to me. But up until then, I'll jump in periodically when I see y'all.
Goldie?
In the West region, I had Gonzaga, Creighton, Kansas, and Oregon. I only missed on the Kansas in the West region. In the East region, I had Michigan, Florida State, UCLA, and Alabama. That was correct. In the South region, I had Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas, Oral Roberts, but I had Wisconsin, Villanova, Texas Tech, and Virginia Tech. So that bracket was really totally screwed up. The only one I got right is Villanova. In the Midwest, Illinois, Oregon State, Syracuse, Houston. I got that bracket right, except for I had Illinois picking your boys, Gio, losing to God's team, Loyola Chicago.
Sister Jean, she ain't playing with y'all.
God's team, man. We shouldn't have bet against God's team.
Hey, God don't like ugly.
So overall, throughout my whole bracket for the Sweet 16, I got 4. I only missed 4 out of 16, so that's not too bad. Which puts me in first place in the Ballas Union bracket challenge.
Oh, I just saw my place. I'm in 14th. Golly. Well, I got Michigan, so there's only one place to go, and that's up.
Okay.
What place you in, Goldie?
I'm in first, baby. I'm in the catbird seat, looking down at you at the peasants.
Okay. Jay Rizzo.
Well, I mean, my bracket is pretty much done. I still got my champion. I got Gonzaga, so they could still win it for me. But I mean, other than that, I did have USC taking down Kansas. I told you about that one when we did our show. I do have them going to the Elite Eight, so at least I got that. In that other bracket, I did have Florida State. I did have Alabama. I should have taken Michigan. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I'm a Michigan fan, but I thought that Livers injury, man, I worried about them playing LSU. And for a while in that game, it looked like LSU was going to take it. But then Michigan took them down in that last 5 minutes, which since my bracket sucks, I'm more happy that Michigan won than my pick won. So, and then going to the South bracket, Baylor, I did not have. I took my team's UNC. I had them going all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, that
just because that's my squad, even though I didn't think they were gonna. So, and Villanova, I had losing to Winthrop in the first game, so I didn't have that. Arkansas, I did have Arkansas, and hell no, I did not have Oral Roberts. But I am happy that they took down Ohio State.
There we go.
I am happy that there is one seed. And then that Midwest thing, I have 0 right on that. Because I had Illinois. I had, who else did I have? I didn't have Syracuse. Oh, wait, Syracuse. I got 1. I had Syracuse, I guess. I didn't even realize that. And I had Houston losing to Rutgers, and they blew that game at the end, too. The Big Ten's been terrible. Let me just flat out say that. Other than Michigan, they've been terrible.
There's only one team
Say it
left,
again.
and that's
Say it
all
again,
that
Rizzo.
matters.
Say it again, Rizzo.
The Big Ten has been awful. They were lauded as the best conference the whole time, and they've been terrible.
Well, that's because
if Michigan can go ahead and win the championship, that'll erase everything that happened. I'll say that, CP. But if they don't, it's a big time fail. They were the best, them and the Big 12. The Big 12 is falling hard too. Those are the 2 best conferences, and both of them have done awful so far.
Yeah. Smash, who you got?
Oh man, I'm all right. I had Gonzaga and Creighton. I picked them and they did their thing. I had Kansas, but they lost, and I should have stuck to my guns because I knew Kansas was missing some key players because it was on the news every day here where I'm at. So I should have stuck to my guns and not picked them, but I did. And but I had Oregon, so I picked them to go good. Michigan and Florida State, I had that, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on Florida State. I got Michigan going all the way, but don't sleep on Florida State. I'm just saying. And then in the East, this is where my bracket got messed up.
I'm woke.
Because I had Maryland and UCLA going in there, but Alabama beat them, so Maryland's out. So I don't have that one anymore. But I had Baylor and Villanova, Arkansas and Oral Roberts. Actually, I had Virginia Tech to go over, but they didn't. So I had Oral Roberts though. So and then Loyola, Chicago, and Oregon State. The one I picked over that though that should have been in there, I thought, was Georgia Tech. But that might have been the first round. But
Kenny Anderson ain't playing for Georgia Tech no more.
Right. Georgia Tech got a squad a little bit. Didn't they win?
They don't got Megatron.
Right.
You can't never count out the engineers.
You trying to build a better rim? Sure, I'm going with Georgia Tech.
Or a lower rim.
The
lower
trajectory
rim
and all that stuff.
And
then Syracuse and Houston, which I had West Virginia going in there, but Syracuse snuck in there. So I'm still looking good. I'm looking at number 6 in Ballas Union right now, or tied for it.
The Nuck Buckles.
The Nuck Buckums. Yeah.
Right. So let me go ahead with mine. Out the West, all I got is Gonzaga. Out the East, I got Michigan and UCLA. The South is where I did very well at. I got Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas. And no one picked Oral Roberts but CP. And then
and this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna give him a.
Yeah, you was talking about Georgia Tech beating the Loyola, so we disowned you.
The Notre Dame guy saying they disowned somebody.
Right.
How about that?
Like it said, Chicago, Illinois is going to championship. Or are you?
Or are you?
Are you?
That was classic there. That was classic.
It was.
That was a classic meme right there. Oh, are you?
Oh, man.
And the Midwest, I struck out, man. Illinois let me down. I got nobody going in the Midwest. I got 0 points out of that.
Damn.
But yeah, man. It's just bad. This bracket's been bad. My team failed me.
Then they fail you, and I went with you with Illinois. I was like, okay, Illinois. I'm gonna ride with Illinois.
Yeah, but you keep saying Illinois, man. Illinois. No,
Hey,
way.
I'm not from Illinois, so it's Illinois for me.
Well, that's why they lost.
That's
Can't
just
be saying
Illinois.
Had too many people that were saying that, and they got all messed up in their head.
Illinois is Illinois.
Yeah,
Either way, they at home.
They're at home. Either way.
that was the problem.
Yeah,
Everybody
home.
was adding the S. The S is silent,
No, that ain't
Illinois.
like the D in Django.
No, the problem is for once, nobody knew what was going to happen because we all just guessed. Every now and again, it's people who actually know about sports and can play the game, but nobody knew what was really going to happen. They didn't have a put together season with a put together playoff with a whole bunch of teams who only played teams, 30 minutes up and down the road from each other, and they went in real gyms with real people and got. So and
hey, you're not after the fantasy football season. You're not stealing my glory, CP.
Look,
this was strategized and organized and planned and
not if you pick Big Ten teams past Michigan.
Pack. Oh, I only picked Illinois is the only one. Illinois and Michigan I went with, and I shouldn't have went with Illinois. Illinois minus the S. Illinois.
You didn't go with anybody else.
Ohio State, maybe.
Nope, I didn't go. I had Ohio State losing in the second round.
Yeah, well, they lost in the first.
Yeah. So, and I was high on God's team, and I should have picked God's team to the Sweet 16, but I was trying to go with my head, not with my heart. So,
right. Yeah, don't bet against Sister Jean.
Right at this point, right?
That's the meme.
Man, that dude from Loyola too that killed Illinois. I swear to God, man, if Shrek was a basketball player, that is what he would look like. It kills me, man. We lost to Shrek. Illinois lost to Shrek, damn it.
Hey,
all right.
Shrek is a hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
at least his first cousin.
Right.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Hey, Rizzo, don't tell people on this panel that you like Notre Dame.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? No. Never, ever in my life. Oh, man.
He's the only.
They're right there with Ohio State and Duke for me. No,
he's the only guy. He's the only one that like Duke. I mean, like Notre Dame. He's the only one.
Weird guy, man. It's a weird guy.
Yeah,
I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on Florida State, though. I'm telling you.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Any players impress you guys during this short tournament run so far?
I wanted to say Cunningham, but he out.
Yeah.
Cunningham's getting ready. He's getting ready for the draft. That's what he's getting ready for.
Yeah, I think everybody else is playing with heart.
I mean, I like that guy from USC, Mobley, the forward.
The twins. I like both of them. I like both Mobley. The Mobley twins. Yeah, I mean, they're twins, the Mobley brothers.
Yeah, I told you about them. I told you they were going to give Kansas trouble when they play them. I was like, I like Kansas most of the time, but USC, man, and all those Pac-12 teams, nobody was giving them any credit for anything. And Pac-12's come out looking the best right now.
Yeah, they got Oregon, UCLA. They looking pretty good.
Easy conference.
They pretty good.
All right.
But I like. Let me tell you,
took down some of these bigger conferences, and they took down Big 12 and Big 10 teams.
I'm impressed with Daddy Ball, old Syracuse, because the young Boeheim.
He got some heart.
He's been balling, man. The young Boeheim been balling.
He got some heart, man.
Yeah. Yep. He said he a walking bucket.
He sure was lighting them up, man. I was like, man, here you go again, 3. Here you go again, 3. That was he's been. I've been impressed with him, and I figured that the 2-3 would give a lot of people trouble because the expertise at that's what they do at Syracuse. So and that showed that 2-3 is hard to defend when that's what you do the most of. So
right,
you gotta make those jump shots against Syracuse. You miss, it's over.
Yep.
Smash. Anybody we should watch out for or look out for out of Florida State?
Nope, just the whole team because they're gonna take it. I'm telling you, man.
Scotty Barnes, man. Scotty Barnes.
State got a good. State. What a lot of people sleep on about Florida State. I'm not saying they're the best basketball team or whatever, but they got a good defense.
Yeah,
and that's what you got to watch for. But what I will say about Michigan with what's Juwan Howard, man? He knows how to adapt. to everybody. I've been seeing he knows how to adapt and make them switch over. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a good game. It's not going to be.
Game. I say he knows there's two halves in every game, so he'll make those
it's not going to be
switches.
as easy as people think. I think it'll be probably between a 2 to 5 point game.
I think only downside for Michigan, I believe, is their guard play. Their guard play was really suspect in that first half against LSU, and they got exposed a little bit. But then he was able to bring some bench players in and be able to put some bench players on LSU's better guards and kind of stymie them a little bit to get that win. So I mean, he's definitely, I would give it 70% was the team and 30% was actually Juwan Howard for that win.
I'll take that. But I don't think Michigan's going to win any game by more than what they win this last game by 8.
Yeah, they pulled away late. I want to say it was like 8 or more.
Yeah. I don't think they win any game by more than that. I see a lot of 4, 5, 7s. And maybe it's a pull away and you give up a few on the back end. They're not going to blow you out. Not without livers, but they're not going to blow anybody out. But they are going to win. I think this is their best shot. While this college basketball season is all screwed up, and while nobody knows anybody and all these protocols, you might as well get this win, get that under your belt, because once these teams start tooling up again, you're not going to be able to get away with some of that.
Yeah, and I hope that they understand. They complained about being locked in the room and all this kind of stuff, but we did have one game canceled due to COVID. And I hope that woke the kids up to realize, you're locked in this room for a reason. It's not just for no reason that you're locked in this room. We're not trying to be mean to you. It's for a reason. And so I hope because we have a great tournament going right now. It's really great basketball. So I hope that they understand and stay in your room and then come out and play basketball and go back to your room,
Basically.
Right. Yep. I'll definitely like to see Howard go and win it all and then dip out of Michigan and get a legitimate head coaching job. Don't be a scapegoat like how they did my man's over there in Houston, Silas. They did him so dirty.
Yeah, he's still feeling that.
That's my team.
Hey, they broke the streak though.
Finally, right, against Toronto. It stopped at 19. Stop them. At this point, keep losing, man. We need a top 4. We need that top 4 finish the bottom 4 so we can get that lottery pick. Keep losing, baby. Keep losing. At this point, I'll take anybody. At this point,
right.
Anybody. Yep. The way the Mobley brothers are playing, I would definitely like to get my hands on one of them. Definitely.
So you can mess them up.
No, I don't think we'll mess him up. I think Salas is a capable coach. I just think he just got dealt a bad hand.
Houston already had a Mobley. It didn't work out well for him.
Coutinho?
Yeah.
The Stevie franchise?
The cat, the pajama uniform era.
Yeah.
Hey, I like those uniforms.
Man, I can stand them uniforms.
It did look like some old PJs though.
Talking about the
16-inch pinstripes.
Talking about the NCAA and their standards.
Here we go.
The NCAA, man, they get the better workout facilities. They get actual meals. They get some real nice snack bags or swag bags or whatever you want to call them. And then you go and see the women's side. They get stuff like, I don't think on the box of the meat it says not fit for prisoner consumption.
Yeah, they got
prisoners.
Yeah, they had Lunchables and space food.
He said they had MREs.
They had them little packs, so you got to pour in the powder and it turned into sausage biscuits.
They had microwave macaroni and cheese,
you know what I'm saying?
and spam.
Yeah, they gave them 2 bottled waters and a towel for their swag bag, and the towel was actually the bag, so they had it tied up with the 2 bottled waters inside.
They got the Firefest meal.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
And then for the workout facility, they're like, well, they're girls, so they don't work out, so they didn't give them nothing.
It's not like they can jump and dunk, so they don't
Right.
need it.
The
They
rim's
don't
too
need
high anyway.
The rim is too high, so let's give them these 1 and 2 pound dumbbells that they can power walk around the mall with.
Yeah, so the NCAA, they have to do better. They have to do that. They you know what they remind me of? They remind me of Derek Jacks. They act like they're for women, but they're really hypocrites.
See how you said the Derek Jackson?
Hey, Mark Emmons out there holding their hands.
I mean, he even bled over to sports.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's
wow.
He even bled over to sports.
Yes. So what's your guys' thoughts on that? Or should this even be a topic of discussion?
It shouldn't even be a topic of discussion. And I'm going to play devil advocate. I definitely want equality for everybody. Don't get me wrong. But again, when the buck doesn't match the competition, then you get what you get. Now, if your competition and the quality of your play can surpass the buck, then you get better. And that's just a fact. Whether we want to accept it or not, you can't hemorrhage money just to appease the women. If you can make your game a little bit more quality and make it more available, make it more appealing to more viewers, then you can get that. Now the swag bag, I think that's ridiculous. The practice facilities, I think that's ridiculous. The food, I think that's ridiculous. But at the same time, you have to understand this is a business. It's just not just about just women getting the same thing the men gets, because it's not equal. We're not watching the game like that. How many women's games have you watched versus men's games? And that'll tell you the story.
Paige Beckers was balling last night.
Yeah.
But how many did you watch?
In the NCAA women is there ain't that big of a gap. Like I get what you're saying if you're talking about the NBA and WNBA, but for NCAA, that gap is very small.
Okay.
A&T girls made the tournament.
Yep,
did they get the play-in game?
No, they was in a real game. They played against NC State, but they lost.
Okay.
I mean, they were supposed to lose, but they cried.
They got there, right?
They got there because A&T men's were gonna be there, but we got played by the false positive. I'm not bitter, but again, I think if anything, though, if we have to continue our spirited debate, I will say that this is one of the reasons why I say the juice isn't worth the squeeze on one simple fix, because there are so many things going on. Now we're talking about equality, and still, yes, we're talking about college games now, which will be a trickle down from the WNBA. But we're talking about where people don't get paid anyway, and now we're talking about money still talking. And the fact that there's disrespectful differences, this is really going to be a bigger issue than just one small fix. Right. And so I think that there are more systemic issues happening that even when we were joking, before we got on wax, that aren't going to be getting fixed in the next 5 to 10 years, not easily. And not even possibly really. This is going to be like a 25-year fix. And you have to start with some drastic action to get the ball rolling in terms of equality, maybe not equity. And I think that's where the difference is, but you at least got to get out of the disrespectful zone and at least give like them a chance.
At least act like you care, right?
Get them to a chance where then you can say, all right, let's change the game and make some more entertaining products. But for now, you at least got to count them as players. And I don't think that either the WNBA compared to the NBA or the NCAA in general with college athletes, but specifically with women college athletes, they're not even at the point with counting them as actual players. And I think that's where a lot of this comes in to fruition. And this ain't worth the scholarship, or it ain't worth the dollars.
Right. Smash, your take?
I mean, I'm just trying to ask CP and Go D. So you saying that they don't need a weight room? I just want to get that clear first. I need clarity.
Oh, they need a weight room.
They
Go D said they don't.
Financially, you get what you can afford.
Push-ups.
That's just what it is. You get what you can afford.
Do these push-ups if you want to get
what you can afford.
So what can they afford? Jazzercise or what?
They got to
Hey, get what you can afford. And listen,
Wow.
as much as crude and rude as I sound, but let's not forget that this is about, in the words of Steve Harvey, this is the money game, and you don't want to expend as much more out to make it equitable than that they're bringing in.
But they bring in money though.
So
They bring in a lot
Like,
of the money.
do
Like,
they?
you count women's
Do they?
basketball. They bring in more than the men.
Women's basketball is not a revenue sport. It's not a revenue sport. Let's be honest with ourselves now. It's not a revenue sport. We know football, men's basketball, men's baseball are revenue sports. That's not a revenue sport. Those other three revenue sports support that game. That's the reason why they have Title IX and all this other stuff in there, so that they force their hands to support these things. Now, again, I'm not saying that they don't deserve this stuff. They definitely deserve this stuff. But from a financial standpoint,
I heard you say they don't deserve it.
From a financial standpoint, they need to up their game and to be able to get these type of things. Now, when you turn yourself into a revenue sport, that's fine, but you can't lose money to force equality.
They ain't losing money.
You just told the
If anything,
women's
they
game
owe
to
a
think
lot of
like a
people
man.
money.
Well, if that's the case, they need to think like a man and do the things like we said in the last episode, lower the rim, do things like the drastic things that you need to do to make the game more appealing to the masses, to the general, to the casual fan. If you do that and you start generating funds, then you can get more. Now, don't get me wrong. The minute food, practice facilities, workout rooms, that should be equal. There's no reason why they shouldn't be equal. But they're in two different places. One place is San Antonio. They might not have a lot of practice facilities for them in San Antonio versus Indianapolis, which is a basketball. They're more prone to playing basketball in Indiana than there is football. than there is basketball in San Antonio. Now, if they wanted a football field, there's tons of them in Texas. So there's a little bit of give and take here on why the facilities are bad, but the food wise, it's no excuse. Food wise, they should be eating just like the men. That's terrible. I agree.
San Antonio has basketball. They got a team.
Right.
They all can't fit. They all can't fit in the AT&T Center now. You can't put all teams.
Hey, I mean, based off what you're saying, if they ain't bringing no revenue, we ain't gonna give them no food. We gonna give them the type of food that they getting the revenue.
So it's Becky Hammond's fault.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I think they deserve a quality meal. They do deserve a quality meal. That's just standard. They do deserve.
But they're not bringing in the revenue for a quality meal.
Proper sleeping quarters. Well, I mean, just cut out the weight room and give them better meals. There you go. Now you covered it all.
Oh, so let them get fat, but not in shape.
Hey, they should already come in the tournament shape. They should already come in the tournament shape already.
It's San Antonio. Outside is free.
Hey,
run these laps.
There's a ton of football stadiums in San Antonio. You can run around and get shape in. You don't have to be indoors, man. You can run around the hotel 13 times or something.
What did Charles Barkley say about the women's in San Antonio?
Yep. If they want some churros, they definitely got enough churros to go around.
Right.
Apparently, Go D is co-signing.
Yeah.
Right. Jay Rizzo, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this whole situation?
I mean, I see what Goji's saying. I get what PP's saying,
but
I understand what Smash is saying. But I mean, like, I agree with what it's nothing's gonna change forever. Like we talked a little bit before we came on here.
Right.
The NCAA might be the most racist and sexist of all the things that are running sports right now in the whole world. So none of that's gonna change, man. You got old people that are donors and that give money to schools that they're not gonna support that. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not gonna happen. So this is going to take lots and lots of time. I'm hoping maybe at some point before I'm dead, I get to see that. Because, yeah, I have 2 daughters, and if they play sports, I want them to have the same stuff as the guys.
Lunchables. Space food.
Yeah, exactly. I want them to have – I don't want them to have to eat Lunchables. I want them to be able to eat, what the men are eating. But at the same instance – this isn't going to happen right away. Like True. we can, it's getting more brought up now, but until we actually start seeing some action, I mean, it's all just talk.
I agree.
Very true.
Yeah. So I got another question. How can the WNBA recruit somebody like Smash or Jay Rizzo to watch more games? Because we know Goldie's not going to watch unless they're dunking.
I watch women's basketball. I watch the WNBA. But I'm just a realist here. I'm just a realist here. Let's understand. If it's not making money, then why go into the red trying to appease a group of people when it's not working? I mean, do things that's going to generate funds. If you do things that generate funds, you get, if you can't afford it, you can't buy it. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? If you can't afford something and you want to spend your light bill money on some new J's, then whose fault is that you sitting in the dark, right? So let's be honest here. I'm not saying I don't want equality for all women, right? But I definitely want them to understand that until you can generate more revenue to get these things, then we shouldn't be complaining. We should be trying to stop complaining and focus on how can we make this game more appealing to the casual fan to generate this fund.
But honestly, though, and this is a serious question. What is it even possible to do something physically to the game of women's basketball to get them in the black so far where they can fix some of these issues? In my mind, I think Smash, you brought it up last week. Maybe it was you, Jill, that there needs to be like some partnerships with some of the teams in the men's teams that are in that same city or whatever, in that same area. I know some of the team names kind of got created off of that, and that's kind of how they started. But instead of maybe partnering with the actual men's team, maybe you can partner with the sponsors that sponsor some of those men's teams or some of those big names, or even if you got to go full soccer and get, some bigger, sponsorships on the jersey, maybe somebody that supports the U.S. women's soccer team can lean over that way. I feel like the only way you're actually going to shake up the checkbook, so to speak, is to get something that can really generate some dollars. Because I don't think the grassroots physical game changing is going to make enough of an impact in enough time where you can actually kind of cross that break-even point and really make a difference.
Right. Yeah, also, there's something drastic got to happen to us to see some type of change. Like a prime example is the women's soccer team. They should have went on strike for the way they're getting paid compared to the men. Because if you're talking about money and revenue, they bring in all the money for USA soccer, not the men. Mm-hmm. The women sell all the jersey. They got all the TV deals. They're the one that win the World Cup, while the men get knocked out in the first round.
But again,
and the pay difference is ridiculous. So,
but again, that's a quarterly sport. Now you have a
but all the revenue money they're giving it to the men that don't win.
You have a gripe there. You definitely have a gripe there. I mean, that's a legitimate gripe. But when we talk about basketball, it's not even. We just want them to be equal. Hell, I want to be equal, but I'm not getting it. So it's until you can. It all comes down to money, man. If you can't generate the revenue,
it can't all come down to money because they're getting done in on the soccer side and they bring in the money.
Well, I can't speak.
No, they're still short on that's the argument with soccer. They're winning and nobody's paying them, and the men are losing and they're getting broke off.
Yeah.
So
but then it can't be all about money. It's bigger than that.
They need
in all women's sports. There's no advertising. Like, you don't know a women's sports is on until you flick through your TV and you're like, oh, it's on. There's no advertising. When men play sports, they got nut buckums versus your neighborhood people. They advertising that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they can't spend those funds on advertising. They gotta give them their money in their check.
They're not giving it to them.
You got to spend it. You got to spend the money wisely. Now they only have so much money to spend. Now you think about one of the greatest WNBA teams had to fold. The Houston Comets had to fold because of finances, and they ran the WNBA. So when you got one of your perennial teams have to fold, there is a financial problem here, and there's a systemic problem that they need to look at their game and understand what can we do to bolster our game. Maybe you need to go play some games overseas. Maybe you should draw in that revenue from overseas, because women's basketball overseas is huge. So maybe you need to tap into that market a little bit.
But they got to fly. They got to fly a coach domestically. So now you want to take them overseas?
Well, I mean, you flying that bypass plane, and
I'm
let's
telling you
They
right
still
now,
not
I can't fly
You gotta
coach.
start
So
from
I'm
somewhere.
They're taking them skydiving planes overseas. They taking it Amelia Earhart and Wright brothers and talking about go play in China.
Hey man,
no, that's
you
crazy
gotta
because
do
I
what you
can't
gotta
fly
do, man.
coach. I can't
You
fly.
gotta
I'm
do.
sorry, I can't do it.
Look,
Oh,
I just feel like you need to, if they can find a way to attach some sponsorship dollars
Mhm.
yep.
or get them a basketball stimmy, something like that.
But
We can make something happen.
But what comes with sponsorship dollars? It has to come with eyeballs attached to it, right? They're not gonna just give you their money and then they don't get nothing in return. So if they don't get the viewership to see the 1,000 commercials or the marketing campaign, then it doesn't equate. They just throwing money at it. You're just throwing money into a bucket
Right.
and
They
you're not
might.
getting
You
a
never
return.
know if they're
But-
advertised. It was a market
you gotta-
property.
you
They
gotta
might
be-
get it.
You got to be on the other side of the if with that. We're saying if they do it, then it makes sense. But
Hey,
everything else, they just throw it in there and say, "We hope it works out."
if
it
my auntie
doesn't-
had a piece, she would be a man. So we can't
It's
say
easy to
if.
do though. You run the same advertising. You run it with the men's. You just
Right.
do it as a big montage where women are doing layups, men doing layups. You just run it, and then you have the time and dates that it come on. It's not going to cost them too much more, and you don't. I mean, they're not getting paid in the college level. I mean, I watch college volleyball. I watch college softball for females, but I don't watch men's baseball in college. Go D does, but I don't because I don't care. I don't care about baseball at all. No matter what type of promo you run for baseball, I'm not watching to the World Series for the most part because baseball's got boring.
Look where hockey's going.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like all those sports like that, like the two dominant sports are basketball and football.
Now that you bring up hockey knew that they had an issue, right? And then they started playing games outdoors, right? They started playing more 4-on-4. They started doing a lot of different things to generate interest into their game. So you can't take away. You got to look at that and be like, okay, women, why don't you want to lower the rim by 1 foot? Why do these different things that's going to attract. It's because it's not the hardcore fan. The hardcore fan is tuning in, they're watching the games, but that only caps out at so much. You got to have the general fan that just want to see what the hype is all about. That's who you're trying to attract. And until they can attract that fan, it's going to be where it is.
They didn't widen the net though.
Well, I don't care.
They took out the blue line pass, and they played one game outside, and most of the time, the weather gets in the way.
But when they play, exactly, that's what I like about it. I wanted to snow. That's what I want to see them on the floor. I want to see all that. I'm not a hockey fan, but
and
when
this
that
is the
game
sport.
is played,
This is the sport where you can fight in too.
When that game is played outdoors, I tune in and watch that. And I'm not a hockey fan, right? So, but when I see that game come on, I want to see it. When they say they have the 4-on-4 game, I want to see it because it's not the norm. It's something that's going to pique the interest. So, me not being a normal viewer, here I am tuning in and viewing this game like they want because they want to pique interest. You have to do something to pique interest for these women to be able to sustain or get more what they expecting.
How's hockey's revenue doing?
They're making more than the women.
Worse.
They started with more than the
women. I'm just saying, you got to do something. You got to take some chances in order to do it. You can't just say, just give me, and you're not doing nothing to better your situation. What are you doing to better your situation?
Man,
but again, we're confusing equality with equity again, though. They're saying give me equality.
Hockey is like a Midwest thing, man. Like people on the West Coast and East Coast and in the South, nobody really cares about hockey. I didn't learn about hockey until I came to the Midwest. And everybody, I was like, y'all going to hockey games? Like, what the hell? But that's something that y'all grow. That's what I'm saying. They grow up around. We ain't trying to see snow and ice. We don't care about that. Like y'all outside skating on it. We like inside trying to escape it. So to see some people on ice playing with sticks, I'm not worried about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not exciting to me. But when I was in the Midwest and I got to and go to a St. Louis Blues game and see them, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what the hype is about. But if I wasn't in the Midwest, I gave two shits about that, and I could wipe my ass with a piece of paper. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Hockey? What? I'm not watching.
I mean, he is off the chain.
You put that beard on, and
But I'm just saying, like, if
Samuel
really though,
Jackson.
if you're not in the Midwest, you don't care about hockey. You got the Chicago Blackhawks, the Detroit Red Wings, and that's about all I can name. Like, we had the Atlanta Thrashers, and it didn't last that long, and they moved out because it's not a popular sport.
You know, if the Thrashers was winning, you'd have had your Thrashers jersey on.
No, I mean, I was trying to follow them, but it wasn't.
Like the soccer team won. It's like the soccer team won. You was all on board.
Hey, they had a
when
good
these
team,
guys. When these guys are in the Midwest and they growing up just like we're growing up in the South as little guys carrying a football from the time we can walk, they're carrying hockey sticks. They're out there playing hockey sticks. I put on some ice skates one time. Man, I almost bust my ass like 100 times in 3 seconds. I thought it was easy looking at how they be doing. No, I gave much respect to them after doing that, but it's not easy at all. But I'm just saying,
I can't ski for nothing though. So
I'm not.
But if you're not from the Midwest, you don't really care about hockey.
Right.
I'm not sticking sticks on my foot and going downhill. No, thank you.
So I got another solution for the WNBA to bring in more revenue and more eyes. Their big market teams need to succeed, not no small market team like Houston or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we need Chicago Sky to be a dominant force in the WNBA, and that'll bring in revenue.
It always leads back to Chicago.
It sure does.
Yeah. Rizzy, you like to add anything to that?
I mean, I get what he's trying to say. I mean, and that's for majority of sports though. They always want the big market teams to be in their finals. Those are going to have people watching it the most. Those are going to have people that care the most about it. That's what you're going to get the most viewership. That's who's going to go to the stadiums the most and stuff like that. But I want to go back to one thing that Godee was saying. You were saying like it's only like the hardcore fans that are watching the WNBA. Don't you think like the hardcore fans would get pissed off if they lower the rim and they would stop watching? Because it's like, this isn't what I was watching. What the hell's going on? You're ruining what I liked.
And you know, that's just like me with basketball when they was hand checking. They took the hand checking out. The purists like that's part of the game, right? But the NBA knew the game got slowed down. It got mundane. It wasn't fun. It wasn't TV friendly. So they removed the hand checking, made it more wide open game. Everybody's gonna resist change. But if you like women's basketball, then you're gonna continue to watch. And you don't just start this doesn't just start from the WNBA. You don't go from playing little league girls basketball on a 10-foot rim, and then when you get to the pros, you go to a 9-foot rim. No, this starts from the grassroots. Everybody plays on a 9-foot rim and watch the game grow. Watch the game grow over the course of 10 years. Watch the game grow. So I understand. Yeah, I'm gonna get mad at it. Of course, if I'm a purist, I want to get mad. I don't want to see my team change their uniforms and bring out highlight uniforms when we are traditionalists. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, and that they may lose 5 or 10 fans, but they'll gain 10 or 20 more for the fan that shows interest in that. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, I believe, though, Rizzo.
Right. All right.
I still think like with the women basketball, I still think like it needs to be the kind of like the hip hop stars or other athletes get involved, because when they get involved, other people are gonna follow. It's just that's just the way society is.
Right.
But nobody else gets involved. So
sparking interest.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this show up. So we're here live. Go ahead, Rizzo. You can start it off.
All I gotta say is, I mean, I'm happy that March Madness is back. You know, we talked earlier on our show that we did. This is my favorite time of the year. You got basketball going, you got hockey going, you got NCAA tournament going, baseball's about to start. It's all these sports accumulate right now. So it's like a great time. I hope the tourney goes according to plan with no hitches or anything. And I hope we have just as good of games as we did in the first 2 rounds.
Smash.
Pretty much echoing what Rizzo said. You know, I'm glad to see that March Madness is still in effect and they didn't cancel it because, you know, the COVID situation. I'm glad they learned how to adapt and maintain, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm glad to see it back. I'm ready to see sports get back to a norm, you know, because what's different about the basketball too is the crowd effect. Like sometimes the crowd is that extra team member on that team, you know. So I'm ready to see stadiums packed again, so you can have a real back to normal, if we want to say, game level experience.
Go D.
I'm with you guys. I'm just glad to see sports back on. I'm glad we got consistency with sports. Before we didn't have it was just here and there. I just want to see consistency with sports, and I'm glad it's all back.
Yeah. CP.
So while everybody's looking at the tournament and everybody's happy to see sports back, let's focus on some sports where some new teams, some new faces are continuing to dominate. So in track, you have the North Carolina A&T State University Aggies dusting everybody and walking them down in track and field.
Now you getting like Chicago now.
Well, I start with this every time. So
I like track and field too. So
if you watch the video, you'll see. At least we got trophies to put up. They just got hopes and dreams. But aside from that, the North
reason why
Carolina
basketball is alive today.
That's fine. That's fine. But you know where you got it from? Them two right before that. So anyway, before I so rudely interrupted, also shout out to once again the MEAC champion North Carolina A&T State University women's bowling team, who's been dominating that space for at least 20 to 25 years. We had a couple down years, but we're back and we're looking good. And we still dominate. Aggie pride is everywhere, whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Dude, how many colleges have bowling teams though? I did not even know that was a thing.
Well, thank you, Title IX. Women's bowling is actually a pretty huge deal. Now to find a men's team, those go in and out kind of like the WNBA does. Fortunately, I was blessed enough to bowl while I was in school, but the program doesn't always make it, and a lot of them don't. So a lot of men's bowlers usually go pro, or they try to do some Olympic things, and they don't have the option of bowling collegiately, not all 4 or 5 years. So it goes in and out. Sometimes you got them, sometimes you don't. Scholarships are a little bit hard to come by unless you want to go to places like Oral Roberts or something like that. No pun intended. But they're just random schools. But women's bowling, which honestly, thank you to Title IX, they pretty much got that on lock. So.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, CP. With that bowling thing you threw in, it was like somebody throwing in a 10 of whatever book in spades and won the book. Like I was like,
walk it on by.
Where'd that come from? Like you snuck that one in. You know what I mean? I didn't count that one.
You ain't know we was playing Joker, Ace Deuce. You thought it was Joker, Ace King, and I was like
how that walked in there? Like,
right. Well, yeah. Let me end this show. So WNBA season, they normally play in the summer. I'll give you guys all a team to watch. The Chicago Sky. They're a great team to watch. They got a great point guard.
Parker.
They got Candace Parker. They got a great team. They're going to win it all, man. And you know what I'm saying? And they'll pique your interest in the WNBA.
The Aces, baby.
Does Arizona got a team?
Who?
Arizona.
Who's there?
Remember, you Chicago Cardinal, baby, right? You Chicago Cardinal.
That's Brittany Griner's.
He is fair. Gio is fair weather as they come.
He's Chicago Cardinal, though, right?
When Chicago do good, I'm a Chicago fan.
Yeah.
Other than that, he going to Chicago Cubs, Chicago Cardinals, Chicago Giants, Chicago Saints, Chicago.
After what Ryan Pace has been doing with us lately, I might be jumping on that Chicago Cardinals. Let me see Ryan Pace out on the street sometime soon. You guys might see me in jail, is all I gotta say.
Hey, Gio, one question though, and yes, for you too, Rizzo. Who's the current running back for the Bears?
David Montgomery, but they just signed Damian Williams for some damn reason.
No, not the other guy.
He's trying to get you to speak on.
Tariq Cohen got a big contract too, by the way.
Where'd he go to school at?
No,
A&T. I knew. Hey, he set y'all up for that alley.
Sunshine on the dog ass every now and then.
Hey, but he keeps shining this way because it's hot.
He did not help, just so you know. So, and now they're trying to replace him. Did you not see that? They're trying to replace him with Damian Williams.
Hey, Detroit need all the help y'all can get.
That's why I said trade him to Detroit.
I want him to go to Detroit. I want him to go to Detroit so he doesn't have to be on my shit team anymore, because I feel bad for anybody who's on the Bears right now.
So
let me just say that. flat out.
You want to trade?
I know we was wrapping up, but this is the extended version. What's y'all take on Flacco going to the Eagles?
Is that where he went?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I was like. I was like, why?
Somebody got to play backup.
Yeah,
What are you
somebody
talking
got to
about?
hold the
Couldn't get
clipboard.
anybody though.
Somebody got to
Well,
hold the
he
clipboard.
started. Will it be Hurts?
Flacco made a bunch of money, got a title. I feel like he's chilling. He's a greeter at Walmart now.
That's all.
So I mean, he's the football equivalent to a Walmart greeter. You just go in
Joe
there because
Flacco overall
Man.
made his money. He had one of the best postseasons ever, and he deserved to get paid. But everybody knew that he was going to be shit after that playoff run.
and he did too. That's why after he got that ring on, he said, "Let's negotiate."
Right,
Let
and
me get my $100 million.
Yeah,
Got it.
he had
And
all
then
the
he
leverage.
said, "All right, now I'm headed to Walmart. Welcome." Let me see. Let me see your
Okay.
receipt. Okay, that's it. Let me mark it down. All right, and so that's all he's doing until nobody wants him to greet people at Walmart. He's going to bounce from team to team.
Hey man, that's the best job in football. Is the
He
backup
winning
quarterback.
because Ryan
Best job in
Fitzpatrick is
football.
doing it wrong. Ryan Fitzpatrick got to go and play half the season everywhere. Joe don't got to do nothing.
Exactly.
Joe's on that
So
Chase
who's the smart
Daniel
one in
money.
this? Who's the smart one in this one?
Right.
Chase Daniels.
As you said that, Go D, the Bears have 2 backup QBs. I don't know which one's going to start. They're going to fight over who's the backup.
No, I want to be the backup. No, you be the backup. No, I want to be the backup.
I'm gonna be the backup to the backup.
Oh man. On that guy's battery out.
Later.
Swish.